So far we have discussed the addition, subtraction and multiplication of integers, and we have done some problems regarding all these topics. Now let us see the division of integers. Now the next topic is division of integers. Now we know that the division is the inverse operation of multiplication. Now let us see the multiplication fact for the natural numbers. If we multiply 3 and 4, then we get the product 12. So for this multiplication, we have two division statements. When 12 is divided by 3, so we get 4 as a quotient, or when we divide 12 by 4, then we get 3 as the quotient. And if you take the multiplication statement as 5 into 7 equals to 35, for this multiplication statement also we have two division statements as 35 divided by 5 equals to 7 and 35 divided by 7 equals to 5. So these are the multiplication statements and these are the division statements corresponding multiplication statements. So not only for the natural numbers, we can write the division statements even for the multiplication statements of integers. Now let us write the multiplication statement and division statement for integers. So first you will write multiplication statement . Then here you will write division statement. For every multiplication statement, we can write two corresponding division statements. For example, when 4 is multiplied by minus 10, then we get minus 40 as the product. So for this multiplication statement, we can write two corresponding division statements as when minus 40 is divided by 4, so we get the quotient as minus 10. And when minus 40 is divided by minus 10, we get the quotient as 4. And if you take the second multiplication statement, minus 8 into 7 equals to minus 56. The product of minus 8 and 7 is minus 56. So for this multiplication statement, we can take corresponding division statements. So minus 56 is divided by minus 8, then the quotient is 7. So if minus 56 is divided by 7, then we get the quotient as minus 8. Now if we observe the division statements here, a negative integer is divided by a positive integer, we got the quotient as the negative integer. And here, if a negative integer is divided by the negative integer, we got the quotient as the positive integer. And in the second case also, when a negative integer is divided by the negative integer, we got the quotient as the positive integer. So in the next case, when the negative integer is divided by the positive integer, we got the quotient as negative integer. So when a positive integer is divided by the negative integer, or when a negative integer is divided by the positive integer, then the quotient will be the negative integer. So when plus divided by minus, when the positive integer is divided by the negative integer, we get the quotient as the negative integer. Or when the negative integer is divided by the positive integer, so then also we get the quotient as the negative integer. So we divide the integers as we divide the whole numbers, and we write the minus sign for the quotient. Now when the negative integer is divided by the negative integer, so when the negative integer is divided by the negative integer, we get the quotient as the positive integer. So this can be observed. So when minus 40 is divided by minus 10, then we get the quotient as the positive integer. Or when positive integer is divided by positive integer, so obviously we get the quotient also the positive integer. Now let us discuss the properties of integers. Now we can check the properties of integers under addition, subtraction, multiplication and also division. So first let us see the properties of integers under the operation addition. Now first let us see the closure property of integers under addition. So first one is closure property. Now natural numbers and the whole numbers follow the closure property under addition. So this we have already discussed in the earlier class. Now let us see whether the integers also follow the closure property or not. Means the addition of any two integers is also an integer or not. Now for example, minus 3 is an integer and 4 also an integer. Then there is some minus 3 plus 4 equals to 1, which is an integer. And 7 is an integer and minus 5 also an integer. So there is some 7 plus of minus 5 equals to 2 is also an integer. So this can be verified with any two integers. So the sum of any two integers is also an integer. So we can say that integers follow the closure property under addition. So we can write integers follow closure property under addition. So we can write that for any two integers A and B, there sum A plus B is also an integer. Now let us see the commutative property under addition. Now minus 3 plus 4 equals to 1, and we can write that 4 plus of minus 3 is also 1. So we can write minus 3 plus 4 equals to 4 plus of minus 3. And we can take any other example. 5 plus of minus 8 is minus 3, and we can write minus 8 plus 5 also minus 3. So we can write that 5 plus of minus 8 equals to minus 8 plus 5. Now we can write integers are commutative under addition, or you can write integers follow the commutative property under addition. So for any two integers A and B, A plus B equals to B plus A. So integers follow the closure property and also the commutative property under addition. Now let us see the third property, that is associative property. So in the associative property, we take any three integers and we will add the integers by grouping two integers each time. Now first let us take minus 3 plus 5 plus of minus 10. So here we are adding minus 3, 5 and minus 10, but we are grouping minus 3 and 5 together. For this sum we are adding minus 10, and in the second case we group 5 and minus 10, then we will add minus 3. Now first let us find the value of the first expression. So minus 3 plus 5 is 2 plus of minus 10. So 2 minus 10 is minus 8. Now here minus 3 plus of 5 minus 10 is minus 5, and minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8. So both values are same. So LHS equals to RHS. So we can write that minus 3 plus 5 plus of minus 10 equals to minus 3 plus of 5 plus of minus 10. Now this can be verified by taking any three integers. Now we can write that integers follow the associative property under addition, or integers are associative under addition. And we can write that for any three integers A, B and C. So we can write that A plus B of plus C equals to A plus of B plus C. So this is called associative property under addition. Now fourth one is additive identity. So fourth additive identity. So what must be added to 5 to get the sum also 5 itself? So obviously we can write 0. So 5 should be added to 0 to get the sum as 5. And what must be? So 0 should be added to 5 to get the sum as 5. So we can write that 5 plus 0 equals to 0 plus 5 equals to 5. Or we can take minus 9 plus 0 equals to 0 plus of minus 9 equals to minus 9. So here 0 is called the additive identity element, or we can say that additive identity. So for any integer a plus 0 equals to 0 plus a equals to a. If you take any integer in place of a, so if you add 0, then we get the same integer as the sum. That is why here 0 is called additive identity. So here 0 is called additive identity. Now let us see the next property, that is additive inverse. Now what must be added to 5 to get the sum 0? So obviously we can add minus 5 to get the sum 0. Or what must be added to minus 5 to get the sum 0? So we know that plus 5. or we can write 7 plus of minus 7 equals to minus 7 of plus 7 equals to 0. So when you get the sum as the additive identity 0, then the two numbers, the two integers are called the additive inverse of each other. So here the additive inverse of 7 is minus 7 and the additive inverse of minus 7 is 7. So in the first case, additive inverse of 5 is minus 5 and the additive inverse of minus 5 is 5. So for any integer a, there exists another integer minus a such that a plus of minus a equals to minus a of plus a equals to 0. So here a and minus a are called the additive inverse of each other. Both the integers a and minus a are called the additiveness of each other. So the additiveness of 8 is minus 8 and the additiveness of minus 8 is plus 8 because the sum of those two integers is 0. Now let us see the properties of integers under multiplication. Now first we will take closure property. Second, commutative property. Associative. Distributive. Multiplicative identity. Then multiplication by 0. Now first we will take the closure property under multiplication. So if you take any two integers, their product is also an integer. For example, 3 into minus 5, so this equals to minus 15, which is an integer. So here minus 15 is also an integer, and if you take any other example, 7 into minus 7 into 6, so their product minus 42 is also an integer. So integers follow the closure property under multiplication. So we can write that integers follow the closure property under multiplication. So here a into b is also an integer. Next, if you take the commutative property, now if you multiply 3 and minus 5, we get minus 15, and if you multiply even minus 5 and 3 also, we get minus 15. So we can take 7 into minus 6 equals to minus 6 into 7 equals to minus 42. So we can write that integers are commutative under multiplication. So we can write integers follow the commutative property under multiplication. So in general we can write that for any two integers a and b, then a into b equals to b into a. Now let us see the third property, that is associative property. So under this associative property, we choose any three integers and we will multiply the three integers by grouping any two integers. So for example, 3 into minus 2 is, these two integers are multiplied, then minus 5 is multiplied by this product. In the second case, so we take 3 into minus 2 into minus 5, and here also we are taking the same integers, same three integers, but we are taking the product of minus 2 and minus 5, then we are multiplying this product by 3. So here minus 2 and minus 5 are grouped, but here 3 and minus 2 are grouped. Now we will multiply these two first. So 3 into minus 2 is minus 6 into minus 5. So then minus 6 into minus 5 is plus 30. Now let us find the multiplication in the second case. 3 into, as minus 2 and minus 5 are grouped here, so we will multiply these two. Minus 2 into minus 5 is 10, then 3 into 10 is 30. So we get the same product in both the cases. So we can write that 3 into minus 2 into minus 5 equals to 3 into minus 2 into minus 5. So integers follow the associative property under multiplication. So we can write that for any three integers a, b and c, so a into b into c equals to a into of b into c. Now let us see the fourth property, that is distributive property. Now distributive, here multiplication distributes over addition and also the subtraction. Now let us see how multiplication distributes over addition. So first, if you take the integer minus 3 into 5 plus 6, and here we will take minus 3 into 5 plus minus 3 into 6. Now let us see the product in the first case. So here minus 3 into, here 5 plus 6 is 11, so then minus 3 into 11 is minus 33, and you will find the result in the second case. So here minus 3 into 5 is minus 15, plus of minus 3 into 6 is minus 18. So here minus 15 plus minus 18 is minus 33. So we got the same result in the two cases. So we can write that minus 3 into 5 plus 6 equals to minus 3 into 5 plus minus 3 into 6. So here multiplication by minus 3 is distributed over the addition of 5 and 6. So we can distribute this multiplication to the 5 and multiplication to the 6. So here minus 3 into 5 plus minus 3 into 6. So this can be verified by taking any three integers. So in general we can write that for any three integers a, comma, b and c. So we can write that a into b plus c equals to A into B plus A into C. So this is called multiplication is distributed over addition. Now the next one is multiplicative identity. Now let us see the multiplicative identity. Now if you multiply any integer by 1, then we get the product as the same integer itself. So that is 5. 5 into 1 equals to 5. So if you multiply any other integer minus 7, if minus 1 is multiplied by 1, we get the product as minus 7. So in general we can write that if any integer, if a is any integer, then a into 1 equals to 1 into a equals to a. So here 1 is called the multiplicative identity. So we can write that a into 1 equals to 1 into a equals to a. Here 1 is the multiplicative identity. Now next one is multiplication by 0. If you multiply any integer by 0, we get the product as the 0 itself. For example, 7 into 0 equals to 0 into 7 equals to 0, or minus 9 into 0 equals to 0 into minus 9 equals to 0. So if you multiply any integer by 0, then we get the product as the 0 itself. So if a is any integer, then a into 0 equals to 0 into a equals to 0. So multiplication of any integer by 0 is 0. So we can write a into 0 equals to 0 into a equals to 0. So these are the properties under multiplication. So the closure property, commutative property, associative property, distributive property, and the multiplicative identity, and also multiplication by 0.